Microsoft's next console has a name. It's called the Xbox Series X. And yeah, that name's not great, but it does give us an idea as to how Microsoft is approaching this new generation of hardware. That Series name all but guarantees there's gonna be multiple offerings of this next Xbox, but we just don't know if that's gonna be the case right at launch. To be honest, Microsoft coming out at the Game Awards to debut the name and reveal what the console actually looks like isn't that big of a deal, but what is a very big deal is that our friends over at GameSpot got an exclusive interview with head of Xbox Phil Spencer to find out more about the company's next-gen hardware. The Series X looks a lot like a mid-sized PC tower, and that might be a turnoff to some people, but I like its look. I always thought the Xbox One X was impressively small given its horsepower, and now that the next Xbox will essentially look like a PC, definitely seems to make more sense. Now, speaking of power, Spencer told GameSpot the Series X's GPU will perform twice as fast as the Xbox One X and 8 times that of the original Xbox One, but will operate just as quiet as the X, and given that power boost, that's actually pretty damn impressive. So what else do we know? There's a new-ish kind of controller, which sounds like it will be roughly the same size as the current one, but with a few minor ergonomic tweaks here and there. There will also be a modular D-pad, which means you'll probably be able to swap out or even adjust different buttons on there, just like the Elite controller that they currently sell. But most importantly, the new controller is going to have a dedicated share button, something it is desperately missing right now. But that said, all existing Xbox One accessories will work with this new console. Excellent. News on games has been light, but we did get a small taste. So Microsoft has been acquiring developers like crazy the last few years, and one of those studios, Ninja Theory, debuted a trailer for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, which will be an Xbox console exclusive. Of course, Halo Infinite will show up on Series X too, but we don't know much more about the rollout of games just yet. Spencer says there are 15 studios hard at work making a diverse collection of exclusive titles for Series X. Sounds good to me. What we do know is Microsoft is promising a totally seamless transition from current generation to next gen, meaning all of your games, and yes, that includes backwards compatibility, your friends, achievements, everything will make the jump over, on paper. But I will say this, Microsoft seems to have a much clearer idea of what their next generation console strategy ecosystem will look like. But there are definitely things they need to do better this time around. Like, oh my god, that Xbox One interface, it is very bad, and this next version basically needs to leave behind everything that currently exists. Also, a compelling list of exclusive games needs to be a thing. This is something Xbox One severely lacked. And finally, the price has to be reasonable, because any way you slice it, Microsoft is basically giving you two choices here. You can go with a console and locked hardware where you don't need to worry about things like driver updates and overall maintenance. It'll just work. Or go with a PC where you're likely to spend a bit more money up front, need to DIY a little bit, but have the freedom to upgrade components at your leisure, all while not missing out on any Xbox exclusives. And let's face it, as TVs get more and more robust with their support for 4K, HDR, low latency, high refresh rates, there is a slowly evaporating division between console and PC gaming. We don't know how much a Series X will cost, but I tend to agree with my GameSpot colleague Peter Brown, who thinks around $500 is a pretty safe bet. Now, of course, that holiday 2020 release date has not changed, but we're sure to learn more pretty soon. So what do you think of the Series X's design? What should it cost? And at this point, are you just kind of considering getting a PC? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.